we've come out to the California Rally Series' school here in Ridgecrest, California, with a Mitsubishi Lancer GTS front-wheel drive manual transmission and a Lancer Ralliart turbocharged all-wheel drive with a dual-clutch transmission. And on their course today, we're going to find out if the Ralliart is worth the price premium over the base Lancer GTS. First, we got to go inside and learn how to drive on dirt. And I'm Matt Farah. Let's see what happens today on the Smoking Tire. 22 pounds of boost. Woo!
And then going across horizontally, you've got two different prep levels for basically it's how much money you want to put into the cars. However, a CRS event that's really tight and twisty, even if it's not 65 miles, if it has 60 minutes of stage times, you get the points for winning a coefficient race.
I put this guy smack dab in the middle of where the late apex guy is going to be. And Mr. Early Apex, well, he doesn't even care. He couldn't get there if he wanted to. So he's got no problem. But Mr. Late Apex is coming around. He's doing maximum cornering. Right about here, he's beginning to straighten out. So he has the whole outside of the corner available to him. He can't get in here, but he could go out without too much difficulty at all.
How to calculate from the MTC out to your first ATC. There's a much bigger penalty if you arrive early at the arrival time control than if you arrive late, because they don't want you to be speeding on transits. And you should get plenty of time on transits.
And these two guys both went off. One tried to make the corner, and you can see he didn't make it and ended up rolling. This guy realized he was going to go off and just accepted it and went straight off. You notice he went further off, but he didn't roll the car.
We're actually writing out how we're going to say it. Because when your eyeballs are jostling in the middle of the night in dust, sometimes you forget how you plan to interpret that. No interpretations. Read. Easy to read, hard to interpret sometimes. Write down how you're going to say it. Here, it's 1100s. Well, that's close enough to 10. So, then in 10, straight into caution, acute right through gate, narrow.
The guy at the metal store will be like, oh, well, you just need 50-51, it'll be fine. You need to buy 60-61 aircraft aluminum. And the guy will be like, but you can't bend it and you can't bend it. So the difference is like 80 bucks in price, and it goes from I turned it into a piece of cardboard and folded it up, or it's survived the last 10 rallies.
Max Film, multi-purpose synthetic lubricant from Royal Purple. The easy spray answer to penetrate, lubricate, and leave a long-lasting film that protects. Forget old school aerosols and break free with Max Film, multi-purpose synthetic lubricant from Royal Purple.
The simulated rally course, Lancer GTS, front-wheel drive stick, 168 horsepower with a 2.4-liter four-cylinder. Let's see what it does. Before you count out this guy too quick, there are a lot of fast front-wheel drive rally cars. Left foot braking is huge when you're coming through these corners because, as we know, front-wheel drive cars all push. So in every one of these tight corners, I'm just tapping the brake with my left foot, and it just brings the rear end right around. It's actually a very nice technique for driving on dirt in a two-wheel drive car. Whoa, little wheel spin there, maybe a little more than I wanted. Whoa, 168 horsepower doesn't sound like much, but you do have 167 pound-feet of torque to work with. Whoa, so your mid-range, well, it's bad. It's not a lot of power. I'm not gonna lie, it's not. I highly recommend coming out and checking out the school if it means you get to do this all day. Oh, there we go. Keeping the wheel spin going, I have traction control all the way off right now, which you definitely want for the dirt because in this car, when you leave it on, it just robs all your power. I like driving on dirt. I know this is not what this car is really meant for, but we don't really do things with cars that they're meant for, so screw it. So you want to lift right at the transition to transition the weight forward.
Stay on it, stay on the gas, stay on the gas, stay on the gas, unlift.
And lift there.
There you go.
Now they say you can't drift a front wheel drive car, but I beg to differ.
Yes. Unwind and lift. There you go, just for a second.
There we go.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's cool. Getting advice from John Burke, expert rally driver, and across the line. Well, I have to say, this car isn't exactly ideal for doing this kind of stuff, but it's a pass. I'll give it a pass. It wasn't a horror show, and the all-season tires do give you some grip. If you guys have ever watched rally, you know that you can have fun in the dirt in pretty much any car, and it doesn't require all-wheel drive or a turbocharger to do it. You can rally pretty much anything. But we did drive these cars up here on the street, so I may as well tell you what they're like. This Lancer has a base price of $19,000 and an as-tested price of $23,000. Comes with upgraded stereo, leather, blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately, you have a very wimpy 2.4-liter engine that doesn't make any power. You have a shifter that feels like my '94 Mustang felt when it was stock, which is not exactly complimentary. And you can't see anything on the radio display in bright sunlight. What you do get is style, because it kind of looks like an Evo, and we can all, I think, agree that it does look better than the base Impreza, but it does lack in quite a few areas. I've got it in manual transmission, sport mode. I've got my AWC set to gravel, which is the closest thing we've got to dirt, and traction control turned off. So we're going to see if I can actually drift this thing. A brake boosted a little bit because there's quite a bit of lag. And there's still quite a bit of lag. All-wheel drive. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. The all-wheel drive really gets you through these corners. And actually makes it a lot more fun to slide the tail around the back. And I can go through these corners virtually totally sideways.
Hold it, hold it, hold it, flick it.
Oh, almost.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, almost.
That's close.
I'm a little off, but I'm trying to Scandinavian flick. Still leaving it in first gear, and I was told by an expert that, whoa, that the dual clutch transmissions do not like left foot braking, so all I'm doing is steering with the throttle, and if I give it power, whoa, and I ran over a cone, sorry. Wow, it's muddy out here. They put some water on the track and we're sliding around. Handbrake again. Well, the problem with the handbrake in the dual clutch car is that when you handbrake it, it goes back below boost and kills all the power. So the key is to keep the boost up while you're handbraking it, which is a lot easier said than done. Oh, I may have just done it right there. Yeah, just handbrake it and stay on the gas, I guess. All right, getting a little drifto. Dorifto! Spring it around. Okay, now I'm figuring out the car a little bit. I think we can learn something from that. And that's that you can have fun on dirt with either car, but you can have a lot more fun with all-wheel drive and a turbo. The Lancer Ralliart Sportback starts at about $9,000 more than the GTS model, but it's immediately apparent where your money's going. You get a turbocharged engine, you get all-wheel drive, and you get the dual-clutch transmission, which, after experiencing the 5-speed in that car, trust me, the dual-clutch is the transmission to have. It really feels like the engine was designed for it. Now, not everything about the Ralliart is better than the GTS. For instance, I don't like the Sportback body style. I understand some people are into it, but one of the big appeals of a Lancer to me is that it doesn't look like an Impreza. So throwing the hatchback on there doesn't really help your cause. We came out in the dirt today to try and find out if the $27,000 Lancer Ralliart was worth its $9,000 price premium over the front-wheel drive GTS version. And here's what I can tell you. If what you want is a stylish, comfortable, quiet commuter with good fuel economy, the GTS isn't a bad option as long as you go for the CVT, because the manual transmission is terrible. But if you're into sports cars, and if you're watching the show, I can probably assume you are, the $9,000 extra that you pay for this would be very difficult to replicate in mods on your own by starting with a base car. So I would say that yes, the $9,000 is worth it to get the Lancer over the GTS. If your pockets are just a little bit deeper though, skip the options on this and go with an Evo. Trust me, it'll be worth it. Don't forget, make sure to watch Bull Run on Speed every Thursday. Team Hemi Cuda for life.